My name is Cecilia Kang, and I currently serve as the Associate Professor of Clarinet at LSU. It has been a great honor and privilege to organize the Han Heung Festival on behalf of LSU School of Music. As a clarinetist and music educator, one of my life's missions is to seek creative and innovative ways to explore the role of music as an agent for positive social advocacy. With my background as a native of South Korea, now residing in the deep south of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I wanted to curate a multifaceted experience that explores the stories of resilience and optimism inspired by a Korean expression known as Han and Heung.
I want to welcome you to the premier Han and Heung Festival, masterminded very skillfully by our colleague in the School of Music, Cecilia Kang. This is a night for music as a catalyst. In fact, as a catalyst for expressing great extremes of emotions, ideas, messages, moods. It's also a night for music as a medium for expressing cross-cultural interactions, connections, cross-disciplinary connections, dialogues. Given where we seem to be in our society today, I can think of no more relevant time and even place for experiences in music that help us to understand our emotions and those of others better, that help us connect with people better, that help us navigate the complexities of life more effectively. Which brings me to the point of the evening, the presentation, the performance. I believe that this is a wonderful extension of LSU's commitment to, and CMDA's commitment to, that's our college's commitment to, contributing to a more just and a more human society.
For Koreans, these two terms evoke the expression of their humanity. Han represents the accumulated pain and suffering of the people. In contrast, Heung is joy and uplifting, reflecting positive emotion. The terms are used in daily life to describe the trial and tribulations that a person might experience and the happiness and warmth that they might have in life.
The unique thing about the Han and Heung Festival is that it's happening here in Baton Rouge and that it's happening at LSU, the seat of learning. Usually the festivals here are around things that are just tradition in Louisiana. We do it because we know that's what we do. Here it's very focused, that you understand that you are looking at joy, but you're looking at it through the lens of pain. One leads to the other, and to have them in that same context, that has never been done here. And it's unique that it gives Baton Rouge an opportunity to look into its marginalized cultures and see two cultures come together in a shared way, bringing shared experiences through this festival in the Han and Heung moments.
There have been some boundaries put up around music based on class, based on race, based on all kinds of external things outside of the music. So oftentimes musicians have had to stand up against those institutions because they wanted to make music to speak to some of the social causes of the day. They wanted to make music that was about democracy.
They're so diverse in this festival, and which is what I'm looking for actually. And then they interpret their own way of Han and Heung. We using that term Han and Heung, but this is globalized because everyone has their own. So this festival represent and make a point about that. So I think that's very special about this festival.
Did you ever walk into a fire hose with the water turned up full blast? Did you ever walk towards police guns when each step might be your last? I think music really touches the core of our humanity. Yo-Yo Ma says that, we all bleed, we all cry, we all laugh, we all love. That's not determined by race or ethnicity or demographic or age. That's what makes us human. And I think music responds, and we respond to music in that way across all of those things.
What happens to a system where this much demonstration and protest goes worldwide and goes back to business as usual? What can happen to a system that continues to have social agents to keep the status quo when the status quo is what the protests are about? What happens to a society overall if this continues and the system doesn't feel it needs to change?
It's a great question, and I'm sure we're all familiar with Groundhog's Day, right? And that famous movie, and about this repetition and about the day just repeating itself and thinking about history repeating itself. And that's what we're in for. If we don't decide to pivot, if we don't decide to be serious about making change and trying to create a more equitable and just society for Black people, for all people, then we're just going to continue to experience these peaks of progress, as Derek Bell mentioned. I mean, I don't get any satisfaction in being right and saying, well, when the next time this happens, this is what is, likely to occur, and that a backlash will follow, and those of us that have been on the front lines the whole time will still be there, and we'll keep fighting even when other folks have moved on. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong, right? I want for us to have the kind of beloved community that King talked about, and that others, including yourself, Maxine, have fought so hard to create. And so it's not easy to dismantle a system that's been in existence before any of us were born, and will sadly be here when we're all gone. But we can do our part in our corner of the world to try to identify inequalities and to try to think about ways that we can make the society more just.
Music is an incredibly powerful thing. Music can bring everyone together, and I think that definitely proved that today. I think it's great to hear here in Louisiana, Korean and African cultures mixing, and having people being able to experience that who may have not experienced that for the first time. Having tonight be that night, I feel is just very special, and I am blessed to be a part of it.
It was honestly one of the most beautiful things I've been to recently, definitely the most beautiful thing I've been to this year, and I think it's going to keep that title for a long time.
It was really great seeing the interactions cross-culturally, and seeing all the different interactions with the music, and seeing how it all can weave in and out together, and seeing the relationships that everything has built. It's been a really troubling time, and we have a lot more that we can do to make better. It's got a great message, and is really hopeful for the future.
There was so much talent on that stage tonight. Performers were amazing, the performances were amazing. It was really meaningful to have that panel session at the end.
It was really inspiring to see two cultures come together to make a whole festival, and it was really awesome just to see the cultural hand-holding in a way of the music and how it interacted with everyone around us.
This was a huge representation of having a good cross-cultural emotional tie and being able to look past strict traditions and take it further into this is how we feel and this is how we deal with emotions. Seeing that all play out tonight was just beautiful. Incredibly comforting and something I'll think about for a while.
And with this music, it's like a universal language that it touched every soul that listened to it. And it brought us together, and because of the difference of the diversity on this political identity time, that people can appreciate each other of the difference and different music and the culture together was absolutely extraordinary.
We really can't underestimate the role of the arts and humanities as agents of social change. They help us to ask and answer important questions about the world around us and our place in it. They also help us to identify the causes and consequences of social issues, and they also can memorialize the experiences of people who were on the front lines, for example, of social change.
Particularly for our students, it allows them to see their place as change makers, and it helps them, I think, to think of themselves in ways that are more expansive than just sort of gaining the technical skills that they need to be successful musicians and artists, but also to think of themselves as members of the community and people who can really impact change in their community.
I think this festival has already begun an important movement here at LSU. I do hope that our students and faculty put on their own festivals celebrating other cultures or celebrating our own culture in conjunction with other cultures. The more aware we are of other cultures, the more compassionate we are about each other, and we realize very fast that we are more alike than we are different.